Today we're here as members of Parliament, members of government, also as Ontarians who are concerned about the direction of Doug Ford and his government and where we're going in the province of Ontario. We're not especially surprised, as this is typical of Conservative governments. Yesterday, the Ford government introduced a budget of cuts. They increased class sizes, made it harder for Ontarians to access health care. So some of the cuts in agriculture, children and community social services, job creation, energy, northern development, environment, francophone affairs, forestry, seniors, I could go on and on and on. I will say, as a Northern Ontario Member of Parliament, it's devastating to see cuts to agriculture and forest fire protections that our rural and northern communities rely on and depend on as our climate continues to warm. Their focus on gimmicks like license plates and stickers is a distraction from the cuts that they're making to services of especially the most vulnerable in Ontario. We've seen that Andrew Scheer would rather mislead Ontarians about the climate action incentive than put forward his own plan for the environment, so it's a very similar vein of approach that we see from the federal Conservatives. In their budget, the Ford government attacked the federal government 25 times. There isn't a problem that the Ford government sees that they don't blame on somebody else. So from my perspective, Doug Ford and his cronies are trying to pull a fast one on Ontarians. They have a great doublespeak about health, education and safety, and this is a hallmark of Conservative governments. It's quite clear that Andrew Scheer would take exactly the same tactic. These cuts are reckless, they're cruel, they're short-sighted, and Canadians deserve better. They deserve governments that are going to stay focused on what matters.
Well, first of all, I have to say I sympathize with the plight of the government of Ontario. They inherited a disastrous financial situation, and they've tried to balance fiscal responsibility against the continuing needs of the people while constrained by enormous record debt. I think they got the balance right.